right, so this is a 2023 or 4. Let's see here. It don't say. Did y'all see it? 2024. All right, so for those of you who haven't seen this movie, and just, you know, a reminder for those of you who have, there's a very significant scene whenever this guy is beyond pissed off. Keanu Reeves is just, he's losing it, right? And apparently he's got a arrangement with one of the guys who controls the gate at one of the airports over there. And he's basically sitting in like a toll booth, you know, and he slides the sliding gate open, and he takes this thing in there and just, I mean, he lets this car have it on that tarmac. I mean, he's just screaming and spinning 360s, and he's banging in between first and second, and just shredding tire. And, you know, I think a lot of us at one point in our life, or even several points in our life, can relate to what the guy was going through. And you know what? It's what some of us do sometimes. We just take it out on equipment, you know, whether it's a hot rod or a truck or hell, a boat. I mean, just you name it. A machine will get the brunt of our temper. And not only did that make me want this car, but, you know, a bunch of other reasons. Obviously, it's a first-gen Mustang. Everybody loves a Boss 9. What I love about this car is it came with, you know, more or less an exclusive engine, right? If you do some research on the Boss 429, you would be very surprised what you learn and find out about what Ford went through, you know, to basically develop that engine, you know, with that company that manufactured it. It's pretty impressive, you know, that they went through all the grief that they did to put this in these cars. And, you know, it's not a 427, not a 428. That's about all I'll elaborate on that right now, but do some research on that. Books, magazines, videos, whatever. It's pretty interesting. So we'll cut this thing out of the package and put it under the light and go through it. Before we put it on the stand, I just gave it a quick little slide. This thing, look at this. This thing is, I mean, it's up there with Hot Wheels. Premium quality. It's got one little lump in, I think, the driver front tire. But, hey, not bad, Greenlight. You looking real good this Friday night. Alright, sorry about the computer popping up the background. Those screens will go to sleep in a minute, but here's the John Wick 69 Boss 9. This car is no disappointment. Under the hood looks really good. No complaints. It's got a little bit of a paint blim, you know, on the air cleaner where it meets the motor, but I mean, other than that, it looks really good. This is where it really hits home. Jersey plate on it. It's probably pretty accurate, obviously. I think he lived in Jersey, you know, outside the city. The paint is just like, it's like they dunked this thing in a gallon of clear, you know. Get a little shot of the interior. It's kind of hard to see in there. It's so dark. Yeah. Not quite as good as that Bandit Trans Am. That's probably one of the better cars I pulled out of the package of Greenlight, but this one's up there with it as far as overall quality. Alright, well, that's it on that one. I already showed you how it rolls, which was, you know, pretty good. We'll put this one aside and we'll open up the 94 YJ Jeep from Beverly Hills 90210. Alright, so on this one, you know, I obviously grabbed it because, you know, there's a couple of reasons why I grabbed it, you know, and I'll tell you. I'm not drawing a blank. I'm just trying to figure out where I should start. So one, it's a Jeep, right? I don't care if it's a Wrangler, a Cherokee, Grand Cherokee. I mean, anything Jeep related, I'm gonna get it. I've owned a couple of these. I have a lot of memories in a Jeep very similar to this. A buddy of mine, his older brother had a 95, and it was the last year they made those because they came out with the TJ in 97. What was cool about it was a 4-banger stick, and it had the chrome grill on the front. And man, he'd take me to school in that thing and this and that. And he was super meticulous about his vehicles. I mean, he was just, Anno Rotino was a stretch to describe how this guy was with his cars. And he actually sold it to another schoolmate of his, who was also a friend of mine. And I actually rode in that Jeep, with both those guys owning it. So a lot of good times. And then when I had a few of them, I enjoyed them. And, this was a Jeep to have before they come out with the TJ, But obviously, I didn't watch this all the time. It was in my time period growing up. We just watched it because the chicks, if we're being honest. It was like why you watched Saved by the Bell. But I saw this thing and I was like, man, I have not seen one of these, on anywhere. And the casting actually looked pretty good, and I really kind of got it for the wife. And I wanted to open it up a couple months ago. She's like, no, leave that in the package. Well, I'm going to open it up tonight on camera, and I don't think she saw it sitting in the stack. But that's all right. So once it's out, and it's jailbroke, it's a free ride. So let me cut this thing open. We'll stick it up on the stand. All right, we'll give this thing a little, yeah, not bad. That is exactly what we're looking for. Greenlight, you're almost batting 1,000 tonight. I'm so proud of you. I made a boo-boo, guys. I thought I hit pause, and I hit stop. So there will be part 1 and part 2. Part 2 will be substantially longer. If I need to, I might break it into 3s. I hate to do that, but that's probably what's going to happen. I do have 9 models here, and I stopped the other video on 3. And I'll do 3 on this one, I guess, and then I'll do 3 for the other ones. I hate doing that. I've been really good about paying attention to that, but I made that mistake. So let's check it out. All right, so it's red. It's got a few little hickeys here and there, but overall, still a nice casting for a Jeep. It has to be a pain to do this thing because it's kind of small and has all these weird curves and, trying to get, like, I don't know what happened on that headlight right there, but I don't know if it's something it looks like the tampo kind of peeled off, or does it have a lens in it? I'm not sure. Let's see what we got going on here. I don't know what the hell that is. Anyway, I have to look into that a little more. But license plate's nice. California. It's legible. I mean, it looks like a 90s Jeep. Hardtop. That's kind of cool. A lot of them you would think you'd see top be off or peeled back, Oh, no. Look at them taillights, man. Come on. We'll definitely have to fix that. I'm glad I'm making a note of that. Again, this thing is super. Look at that. Got the old 4-liter high output decal on below that right tail light. Nice touch. Good job, Greenlight. But these tail lights, man, must have been happy hour. Quitting time. And I think they're actually in the right direction because if memory serves me right, the backup lights are on the top of those like most Jeeps. But the Wrangler decal back there on the rear quarters, spot on. Again, not their greatest example, but everything's really examined hard, when you're zoomed in, from this far away in display at a certain angle. Probably never notice it. But we'll have to tune this one up a little bit. So, rolls really good. It was a, it was a nice thought, and it's still a Jeep. So we'll fix a few things on it eventually, and we'll enjoy it. All right. So everybody knows this truck who's watched this show. I think the most iconic scene, if my memory serves me right, it's season 3, episode 2 or 3. They're basically confronting a group of bikers from California in that field. I'm sure if you haven't seen the show, you've probably seen it pop up on a Facebook or a TikTok reel. But Rip and Lloyd are in this thing, trying to find out where Colby and all them guys are. And they see they're fighting in that field. And these guys have all their bikes lined up on the roadway by this pasture. And Rip just, he swings her to the right and mashes that pedal to the floor. And you can just hear that thing just spool up. And next thing you know, it's like Harleys and shit just flying everywhere. And I didn't notice it until I rewatched the series a while back, I have background stuff that I just put on. And on the front of that truck, they put a pretty massive piece of C-channel and some square tubing below that ranch hand, obviously to make that, to push all those bikes out of the way. So it's kind of hard to see until you go back looking for it, because I said, there's no way that those bikes, and I think they did it mainly so the truck wouldn't climb over the bikes, because that truck's big enough to where if one or two got trapped under it, it could be a bad day. But they did it okay. I mean, it's not a full-blown movie. A lot of things in that TV show are definitely Hollywood, okay? It's TV. It's entertainment. It's not supposed to be everything is church, right? But it's a good show. It's got a lot of good points in it, and it's good to watch. But I did notice that and figured I'd share that. So next time you go watch it, check that part out. But we'll get this thing out. I was really contemplating on taking this one out of the package because it's such a big casting, so it'll have to go on a display. Oh, darn, right? But it will not fit in my jammer cases. It may fit in one of them long slots and take up the whole thing by itself. But it looks really good in the package, and I'm sure it's just as nice out, and I probably won't regret it. So it'll go up here on the shelf, and we'll be able to enjoy it and look at it and check it out. So here we go. All right, so the Yellowstone Dutton Ram is apparently a 24 release, and it's Series 38. So I guess the series for that year, this is one of the castings they did. I did buy this truck at HEB Plus in San Antonio, and I was shocked that it was in there. And I have not seen another one on the shelves, and if I do, I'm going to buy another one because they're kind of hard to find. You see the single wheel like the Rip and Casey and them drove, but it's a long blade. See a bunch of the sheriff's cars, see Jamie's car. You couldn't pay me to own that prick's car. But I like Kevin Costner. I've always liked him, a lot of his movies, and he's a relatable guy to men I grew up around and raised me for that matter in this movie. But let's get this thing up on the auction block, if you will, and get a gander at it. Well, I'll tell you this. They got the paint right on this truck. It's about as close as you can get to that Ram factory color. I love how the copy of those Alcoas are pretty close to. Look at that decal, man. That's a small decal on this truck, and it's next to perfect. Little Cummins badge on the front fender looks good too. This is a nice truck, and I know some of these Greenlights have issues with the mirrors. One of them's a little out of skew, but I know on a lot of these they put the smaller mirrors on them, and I'm glad they actually put the correct mirrors on this truck. But this thing is legit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Looking good. Let's get a shot at the back. It looked pretty nice too. Yeah, got the old Laramie on there. Very nice. And it's got the hitch and toe style hitch on there, so if you wanted to put something on the back of this thing, you could. But anyway, there you have it. Let's open up the California Lowrider next. That'll probably be the end of part 2. Okay, 72 Monte Carlo. I like the 70 to 72 Monte Carlos. I thought these cars were just so gorgeous. I love that big long hood and just the lines of this car. And, you know, I don't care if it has like a 3-foot course support section. Those of you who've looked under one of the hood of these cars, it's really kind of strange, the engine bay. But these are the cars of this set. This is one I don't have been passing on it. I don't really collect anything below 1950, unless it's a Cadillac. I think I've seen this car. I want to say it's orange and black. This is the root beer color brown or kind of dark orange metallic car. I have it. I don't have that one, and that's going to be the one that's probably hard to find. This one I do have. I think it's the black and gold one, and then we have this car. So, series doesn't say. Oh, there you go. Series 5. This is a 2024 release. So, we'll just get this one out real quick since I'm already in view. And give it a quick little slide across the laminate here. I'm not keeping these cards, so I'm not being too precious with them. So excuse me. Look at the panel of that thing, man. You can comb your hair in it. You trim your nose hairs in that black. It's alright. Not perfect, but it rolls. Rolls with ease. This is gonna be a nice car. Alright, let's get a bird up in there, as they say, and put this thing up on a perch. Alright, we're up here in that fable catbird seat, as they say. Try to get y'all a little bit better. There we go. Alright, silver metallic on the bottom, black on top. Again, I love how they did the pinstriping on here. It's a nice touch. They always had that Monte Carlo badge right there on the C-pillar, if you will. But what I really like about this car the most is that little pinstripe crest on the back. That's just so fitting. You know, it's not overdone. Looks good on the black. You know, they use the color of the car to accent. You know, it's silver. And man, these things with a 402 in them, they were special. Really high quality cars. They didn't make a lot of them either. I have some pretty decent car literature in here in the office that anytime I find a car book that's worth, you know, doing a little nosedive, you know, just to kind of refresh your memory and learn production numbers. One of them it's basically like a 2 car per page, you know, snippet of all the prominent desirable cars from, I don't know, 30 to early 2000s. And you'd be surprised at the production numbers of, especially the SS Monte Carlos. There weren't that many. You'd think there was a ton of these things, but from what I remember reading, there really wasn't a whole lot of Monte Carlos built. Nice ride. Something different. You know, this is a really good way to style this car. I got that pinstripe accent on the front too. That looks really nice. Oh man, thought I was rolling off the license plate there for a minute. Let's see what we got under the old hood here. Is it open? Oh, yeah. Oh, come on now. All right. I'm going to say that's the old 402. And as you can kind of tell, see that bench right on there? I never did. Whatever. It works, man. Somebody who probably owned one of these cars or, had one at one point in their life or knew somebody, they could probably tell you some stories about how that cooling system may or may have not worked for General Motors. But that's the way you can tell. How you could see that with the hood propped up, and you can just get that image in your head. And anybody who knows these cars will be going, yep, that's a first gen Monte all day. I don't think there was any other car that they made, GM at least, that had that look in the back. I got a big old Barbarian print on the back of that trunk right there. Sorry about that. But all right, well, let me wrap this one up, and we'll do these last three. Again, I'm so bummed that this thing is going to have to be part 3. Or, this will be part 2, and it had to be in 3 parts. I was really wanting just to make a long one, but it'll allow everybody to, hey, I got time to watch part 1. Hey, I got time to watch part 2, But nonetheless, at least I had 9 models to go through, and they're broken up 3x3. So we'll get this thing set back down on the ground, and we'll do the Lightning, the Bullet Mustang, and then BA's van in part 3. So stay tuned.